This is the Mario 800 back again, Jim, with another video. And Jim
of Chaos.
And today we're talking about our favorite video games of all time, of all systems, from all generations.
Yeah.
So I'd have to start off. I had an NES when I was a kid, original Nintendo. So I'd have to say I'll start at the original Nintendo one because I can't really talk about playing Atari
Xbox.
and ones like Atari and ColecoVision and games because they were before my time. ColecoVision.
Yeah.
The Intellivision game systems like that, even though they're great, I've just never played them.
Yeah.
So I'll just start at NES and go from there. So I'd have to say my favorite NES games of all time, starting with NES, would be all three Super Mario games, 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
WrestleMania with Hulk Hogan on where he's ripping his t-shirt off, the original WrestleMania. The WrestleMania Challenge, which came out in 1990, I think. And then I put, what else for NES? I'm trying to think of some other ones. Top Gun was pretty good. Friday the 13th on NES was good. I think of any more for NES, or am I going to go to Sega Genesis next? And then I think if I had to throw some Sega games, and remember the game just called Beast? There's something for Sega, that was a pretty cool game.
I remember playing it, but I don't really remember much about it.
And I'd put the Sonic the Hedgehog game, and if I just think of another classic game off my top list that I love playing of all time, if we're talking about all our favorite games, that I would put in there is Road Rash.
Yeah.
The original
Yeah.
Road Rash from 1995, which has Soundgarden songs on it when you put it in. That is a freaking classic game.
Yeah.
I love Road Rash. I can play that game all day. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I had for PlayStation #1. And WCW Mayhem, you could go backstage and taste people.
Remember Gold Dust?
Remember Gold Dust? Attitude when you possibly sound like a girl.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, those games are legendary. You know another legendary game that was legendary back in the time for the PC was Doom.
Yeah.
Remember Doom from 1993? Yeah. That was a legendary game.
Yeah.
Dude. Nerds spent hours playing that game when it came out. Doom. I mean, that's legendary.
It was a hard game to beat too.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't just some walk in a park.
And let me think of some other video games of my all-time favorite video games that were making this video.
What about Killer Instincts for the Super Nintendo? You ever played that?
I think I have.
Yeah?
I remember playing for Super Nintendo with Yoshi. The Mario games, you know, with Yoshi, where you could get on him. And
Super Mario.
Yeah, you can get on Yoshi. Back in that and right around him. I like that one with Yoshi on it. And I also like what other games can I think of? Let's go to you for now. I'll try to see if I can think of any more.
Yeah.
So you tell me some of your favorite games of all time.
Well, one of my games is I can move on to like more advanced stuff. Like I got basically all the Call of Duties for Xbox.
Like so you play a lot of the original, like the newer system, right? Play a lot of the old retro ones, right? Because I like the older systems better.
Like, but I enjoyed like Mortal Kombat for the Super Nintendo and stuff like that. But like,
do you remember playing Tekken for
Tekken?
Yeah, and you used to get those balls and bounce it off the
flipping the beach ball mode.
Yeah, the beach ball.
Tekken 3.
We used to play that for hours.
Yeah.
Remember that one year I stayed over at your house and me, you, and Justin woke up at like 1 in the morning and we played video games until it got light outside?
Yeah, the big ass floor model TV.
Yeah, we played games until like the light out. It was light out like 5, 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we played all the Mario games and the wrestling ones, and that was Super Nintendo, I believe we were playing that time, wasn't it, right?
Yeah, because Justin can beat Super Mario World in like an hour. And
we played that thing for hours and loved it.
Yeah.
Until your mom screamed about us being up so early in the morning.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, but we loved doing that, staying up late.
Yeah.
What do you think? How long do you think it's going to be before there's a PlayStation 4 out? Being there's a PS3, do you think there will be a 4 with the fourth one coming out soon?
The Xbox, the new Xbox coming out around 2013. I don't know.
Probably for Christmas next year, right?
Yeah. But like I don't know if it's just a rumor I heard.
What do you think the video games of the future are going to be? Do you think games in time are going to be actually where you could actually get them in yourself and play them? Like, you could actually get in the game. Like, what do you think future games are going to be like in the future? Like, for technology, the way it's going, what do you think the future games are going to be?
They have all those flight simulators to train pilots and stuff like that, and they make it like a game simulator that's just like that, right?
Yeah.
You know, you have a gun or whatever. Like, I know the PlayStation Move, but, like, it's not, like, nowhere near a real gun, but, like, they should make, like, actual guns and stuff. It's pretty awesome, like...
What are some of the worst games? Now we talk about what's some of the worst games you ever played? You know what I used to hate on PlayStation that was hard was that San Francisco Rush. Remember that racing game, how hard that was to beat? I hated that game. What's some of the games you've hated over the years that you've played? Talk about some of the ones you hate.
Alright. Well, Sledstorm was a good game. I love that. Pitfall for the Super Nintendo. That was... Oh, I hated that game. What else?
What was that one game that used to make that old man really hard on? Remember you had to fight him, he was the old man? Remember we played it?
Super Punch-Out.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
And they made the old man the hard. They made him the hardest. I hated that
like
game.
Some ninja that beat you with a cane or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated that game.
Yeah, Justin used to beat it all the time, and then I got into it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, watch this." He punched out the first guy in one shot, and I'm like, "Well, I can't even get past the third stage, so what am I supposed to do?"
What are some games? I know PS2, we used to play that game with Grinner on it. Remember that wrestler that French guy, you called him Grinner?
I think that was SmackDown vs. Raw 2006.
Yeah, was it 06, I think? Or was
Yeah.
I think it was 06. Then we used to play all the time with that Grinner guy on it. You called him Grinner or whatever.
Yeah.
We made him up, then he'd eliminate us from the battle run, then we'd team up on him and do a triple threat match.
Yeah, just really mess him up.
Wasn't that the game where you could create the legends too? I think it had Hulk Hogan on it and Andre the Giant, that one you had, right?
Yeah.
Versus 2006, I think, right?
John Cena, that used to be my favorite, but no, I don't really know. I basically stopped watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Like,
so.
I want to get back into it, but, like, pay-per-views are, like, what? Expensive.
Yeah, TNA's actually a little bit better than WWE right now. I mean, they're both good. I enjoy both. Like, but right now, wrestling-wise, TNA's better than WWE right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're both still good. I enjoy both. I'm not a mark. Like, I don't mark one over the other like TNA or WWE. I like both, so. But anyways, back to video games. What's some of the other ones you hate that you've played over the years that you've hated?
Ooh, there's a lot. Just can't remember.
Oh, remember the original Ninja Turtle games for like for NES? I think my friends had them on NES, like Super Nintendo, but I had them on the original one.
Yeah. There was one game that was just completely rigged for the Super Nintendo, and that was Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, that game.
Yeah, that game was horrible. They shouldn't even made it. Like, they shouldn't even published it. Like, they should have played it and just like threw it away because it's completely garbage. Like, you go to spin and then you keep spinning, and then you wouldn't win. And then
you know another game that kind of used to be hard I didn't really like? Remember the Three Stooges game for NES, the original The Three Stooges games?
No, I didn't remember that.
I used to hate that game, and I used to hate Home Alone on NES, like the original Home Alone, because Harry and Marty would chase you out to the thing.
Yeah.
Like, Kevin would try to get out of this house. I remember you'd go into this one room, like it was exactly, you know, the movie, like he'd go upstairs.
Yeah.
And then Harry and Marty would get you, they'd kill you, you know what I mean, if you ran into them or whatever. I used to hate that game as a kid, Home Alone, like it was so hard to beat.
Was it like bloody or anything?
It was just hard to beat. Like, they covered you everywhere you went. It was hard to get away from in the treehouse even.
Toy Soldiers was a hard game to beat, too, for the PS1. That was a hard game. You'd walk through a minefield without a metal detector, and then you scare.
What about Twisted Metal for PlayStation? I heard that's a legendary game. I hear a lot of people talk about that on YouTube, Twisted Metal.
I used to go over to my cousin's house to play that.
Did you like Twisted Metal?
Yeah.
Which one was better, 1 or 2, or Twisted Metal 1 or 2? Which one did you like better, the first or the second one?
I remember playing 1, but I never tried 2, because, like, I rented it, but, like, 2 was just not as good as 1.
And what about DDT game? Remember that one about remember the one about, like, the rat poison you had to kill all these rats on it or whatever? I think I have it at home. It's called DDT or something.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
And what other ones can I think of? Trying to think of some other ones I hate. Is there any Mario games that you played on like either on original NES, Super Nintendo, or like Nintendo Wii? Is there any Mario games you hate?
No, I just
Nintendo 64. Like, is there any ones that you hate on them systems or?
See, I'm not really a retro gamer. I just like played retro games, but
like I do, right? I play just the retro games, right?
Yeah, but like Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo was just, it was like, you would go to get past the first level, and then I like end up jumping right.
See, this video we're not talking about the greatest games of all time. Like, we're just talking about the games that we played, right? Yeah. So we can't say we played in television because those, like I said, ColecoVision, they were before our time, so we can't really say we played them. This video is just about what we played. Yeah. And like, so I started with the original Nintendo because I was born in the 80s, so my first system I got in 1990 was an NES, and then they went from that to instead of Super Nintendo, I went right to Sega.
Yeah, I was born in '96, so. Basically, the first system I got was the Super Nintendo, and then it went from the N64. Then it started, like, just, like, jumping a couple years, because I went from the N64 to the PS2. Yeah. Then I got the PS2 from the Xbox.
Yeah, see, where I kind of bounced from NES to Sega Genesis, then I went right to PlayStation 1, where, see, you went to 2, and I never had to. I just stopped at PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
So, and I think some other games that I really hated over the years, if I could think of on systems, I have the original Game Boy at home. You know Game Boy, like the original black and white one?
Yeah.
I used to love the wrestling game for it. I have that. The Tetris was good, but there was one I used to hate. I can't think of the name of it right now. It was one of the Mario ones, and every time you would go in this one corner, that gremlin thing would follow you into the corner and smack, like, eat you or whatever, like that big blob thing, they called him Kirby or something, you know, Kirby, that big ghost.
Yeah.
whatever, and he would follow you into the corner and eat you up. I hated that game, Game Boy. Did you have a Game Boy original, or did you have the color one of the advanced ones? There's so many of them Game Boys I can't keep up, but I know I had the original one.
Yeah.
Did you have any Game Boys?
I had the Game Boy Advance.
I also had Sega Game Gear too, and I used to have the baseball game on it. 95, and I used to like play it, hitting the home runs because it'd pop way out of the thing and it'd say home run or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, another one of my favorite baseball games, speaking of baseball, for PS1 was High Heat Baseball 2000. That's a good game.
I
really enjoyed that one.
Ken Griffin Jr. or whatever.
That's the one I have.
Yeah.
That we played. Remember, you could hit the home runs way out of the park. That's the one I got.
And then
High Heat 2000.
you smash it off the widescreen TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the home run, it could show you like the replay, and it would show it hitting off the TV or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. That was awesome.
Other games can I think of before we wrap this video up? What video games are favorite video games that we've played?
One for me would be Battlefield 3 for the Xbox.
Oh, you know, speaking of NES, I was thinking the other day. Remember that Bart? I don't know if you ever played the Bart Simpson game for NES. Man, that was hard.
No.
Did you ever play the Bart Simpson game?
No.
Well, I always got, there was a way to beat it, but I never knew how. I think you had to find something. It was hidden somewhere. You could go right to the end, like he'd skateboard to the end of the thing, and then there'd be this thing that when they, like, wet cement and you could never get through. I don't know. They made it so hard, that game, the original Simpson game for NES. I hated it.
Awesome games for the Super Nintendo was Donkey Kong and what was that, Little Monsters or whatever?
Yeah.
Where you run around with those three little monsters, you had to throw garbage and stuff to get through.
I don't know if you remember, you might have been too young, but do you remember when you used to come to my house years ago?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember my NES, right? Maybe Justin, Nicole might maybe, I don't know if Justin would or not, but I used to have this Nintendo game that used to have a whole bunch of different games on it.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it, but it had like different things of all things. Like it was like a NES game you put in, but when you put in the main menu, it'd have different games that you could pick from. Like just all kinds of weird games.
Like 6-in-1 and stuff like that.
Yeah, like it just had a whole bunch of weird games. I remember this one where this guy went to the refrigerator and ate all this food out of it. Like he had to get up to the fridge and get all the food.
Remember Grand Theft Auto for PS1?
Yeah, I played that Jordy's. Jordy used to have that.
Yeah,
remember?
He used to say like he would choke you and stuff if you didn't do the job for him.
Yeah. I actually haven't been to Jordy's house in like a year, so I can't remember what games he's got now, but I know it's been a while since you've been over to his place too, right?
Yeah.
But I remember when they used to live out in Hotchie Road, we used to go out there and play, remember Grand Theft Auto for PS1? What else do they have for PS1?
They had a CD-ROM, didn't they? That you actually put, it was actually called a CD-ROM.
Yeah, because he had Road Rash for that one. Mine was on PlayStation 1, his was for the CD-ROM, remember?
Yeah, yeah.
We used to play it?
Yeah, I used to play it. Remember when he lived in, down by the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I used to play it. It was pretty awesome.
But did you like the CD-ROM Road Rash first? I like the PlayStation 1 better because
there was like, it was just like, there was like 6 buttons, like on one controller.
Yeah, it's on the
like,
CD-ROM, right?
Yeah, it wasn't like organized, it was just like ABC, ABC. And you're like, alright, there's two sets of ABCs and like, what the hell do I do here?
Yeah, he had the CD-ROM Road Rash. The thing I like about the PS1 one is I think you could save the actual things. Remember how PlayStation 1 came with memory cards for the first time? I don't think CD-ROM you could save your things, could you?
No,
the Road Rash. So I think on the PlayStation 1 you could save it. And plus I think the Road Rash and PS1 had a lot more music on it. Like, remember all the like all the songs by Soundgarden on there, like Rusty Cage, and they had what other ones was on there? Like a whole bunch of like grunge music, like it was grunge era music on that game. It was just good.
Yeah.
And remember on the one part where you go in, it shows a guy plunging in the toilet on the one part of Road Rash. Remember you go into the restroom to make a rest, and it shows him on plunging in the toilet.
Who was that guy? That was
Telephone Mike that was dropped on his head in the early age or whatever.
Yeah.
And he used to say he was dropped on his head in the early ages, like the early ages of the world, but he was actually dropped on his head in the early age. Hey.
Remember that guy used to dress up like Waldo?
Yeah, he looked like, you called him John Waldo?
Yeah. He used to beat us all the time, or Bose.
Yeah, remember when we used to kick John Waldo off his bike on Road Rash?
Yeah, you'd start beating him with a club, and then you just kick him off his bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a bugger on there, that John Waldo.
Oh my god, yeah.
But yeah. Remember, wrap this up. I mean, this is like 14 minutes. It's going to 15. We'll wrap this up. I'll think of a couple. You can think of any more when we wrap this video up?
No, I can't.
The video games?
No.
Before we go?
No, I can't.
Trying to think if there's any more I want to say. Oh, there's one Sega game. I think it was for Sega.
Yeah.
Do you remember the one hockey game that came out? Was it NHL 94 or was it 95? One of the ones where you could actually hurt Wayne Gretzky and they carried him off on a stretcher on the game. Remember the famous hockey one
No.
that they made where you could hurt people for the first time on it?
NHL 2000, NHL 2001. I think NHL 2000 was like...
You had NHL Face-Off 2000. I had just NHL 2000.
Yeah.
Which 2000 I like better because you can get more fights on that one.
Yeah.
I actually have to order a new copy of that because mine's got a huge, like a deep scratch on mine, so it won't play. So I got to order a new copy of it to get a new one. Same with Mayhem.
You can just take it up to the store over there.
What, do they clean discs?
Yeah, they get it refaced.
Oh, do they? Yeah, because mine's got bad scratches on them.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to wrap this up. This has been us talking about our favorite video games that we've played.
Yeah.
And this is Jim of Chaos. And I'm Mary Hard, and we're out.